Raid on the Rising Sun, Doolittle's daring mission in World War II. In the early hours of April 18, 1942, the world was about to witness a daring and audacious mission that would forever etch its name in the military history, the Doolittle Raid. This story takes you on a journey through the planning, execution, and aftermath of one of the most daring air raids in World War II. Chapter 1. The Wake-Up Call. The story begins in December 1941 when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, a US naval base in Hawaii. This attack shocked America and thrust it into the war. People were angry and determined to strike back. The brave volunteers Lieutenant Colonel James Doolittle, or Jimmy as his friends called him, was given a challenging mission. He had to bomb Japan, but there was a problem. The planes needed for this mission, called B-25 bombers, were too big for aircraft carriers, but Doolittle had a plan. He chose 80 brave volunteers, men who knew they might not come back. They trained hard and learned how to take off from shorter runways. Chapter 2. A Risky Plan. To make this plan work, they needed a big, powerful ship to carry the bombers close to Japan. They chose the USS Hornet, an aircraft carrier. The plan was to launch the bombers from the carrier and then head back to safety. But it was risky. Chapter 3. The Long Journey. On April 2, 1942, the USS Hornet set sail with 16 B-25 bombers strapped to its deck. The crew and pilots were ready to go, but as they got closer to Japan, a Japanese patrol boat spotted them. To keep the mission secret, Doolittle decided to launch early, even though they were much farther from Japan than planned. Taking off. The B-25s roared off the USS Hornet's deck one by one. They flew through rough weather and had to stay low to avoid radar. It was a bumpy ride, but they were on their way to bomb Tokyo. Chapter 4. The Surprise Attack. The Japanese never expected an attack so soon after Pearl Harbor. The B-25 bombers arrived over Tokyo, dropping bombs on factories and military targets. It was a shock for Japan and a boost for American morale. No way back after bombing Japan, the bombers faced a big problem. They couldn't fly all the way back to the USS Hornet. They had to find safe places to land in China. Some crews had to parachute out of their planes. Chapter 5. The Aftermath. The Doolittle Raid was a success in many ways. It showed that America could strike back at Japan. It also boosted the spirit of the American people. But it came at a cost. 3 of the 80 brave men didn't make it back, and many faced hardships in China. Chapter 6. The Legacy. The Doolittle Raid was a turning point in the war. It showed that Japan was not invincible. It also gave hope to many. Jimmy Doolittle and his brave volunteers became heroes. Their daring mission is still remembered as a symbol of American courage. Chapter 7. The End of the War. As the war went on, more battles were fought, and eventually Japan surrendered in 1945. The Doolittle Raid remained a shining example of bravery and determination. Epilogue. Remembering the heroes today. We remember the heroes of the Doolittle Raid. They risked everything to strike back at the enemy. Their story reminds us that even in the darkest times, courage and determination can light the way to victory. The Doolittle Raid will forever be a symbol of American bravery and heroism in the face of adversity.